For number 55, it says a company sells ice cream in 2-quart containers for $3 per container. The company also sells ice cream in 1.5-quart containers for $2.50 per container. What is the ratio of the price per quart for the 2-quart container to the price per quart for the 1.5-quart container? So it says ratio. Ratio means comparison. Right, so we're going to compare it. In some cases, you'll see a ratio like 2 to 3, like that, or you might see it written as 2/3, right? In ratios, those are equivalent. So in this case, they want the price per quart for the 2-quart versus the price per quart for the 1.5-quart. So I need to do the price per quart. Remember, per means division. So the price for the 2-quart, the price is $3 per 2 quarts. So the price per quart, I would do 3 divided by 2 in my calculator. I would do 3 divided by 2, and I get 1.5. So I would have 1.5 is my dollars per quart for the 2-quart container. Right? And then it also asked me for the price per quart for the 1.5 container. So for the 1.5 one, it costs $2.50. That's my price. Per, it means division, and quart is the size, so 1.5 quart. And in this case, I would go back to my calculator. I would type in 2.5 or 50 divided by 1.5 or 150, and I get 1.66666. I'm going to go ahead and turn that into a fraction, which is 5/3. Math, enter, enter. So I get 5/3, or 1.6666 forever. Right? And in this case, they're asking for the ratio of the 2-quart first and then the 1.5 quart. So they might be looking for this, but it looks like all my answers are in fraction form, so I'm going to put it in fraction. So the 2-quart was 1.5, so I'm putting 1.5 over the 1.5 quart was 1.666 forever, right? So in my calculator, I'm going to do 1.5 divided by 1.6666666 forever, and I get 9/10, or 9/10, 0.9. I can turn that into a decimal if I want, and I get 9/10. So math, enter, enter. I get 9/10. That's pretty much it. I'm sure there's a ratio way to do it, but it seems much easier to do it this way. So you're going to find the price per quart of each one, and then we're going to compare it because it says ratio. Cool. For number 56, each of 100 distinct playing cards is one of 5 solid colors and is numbered with 1 integer. So there are 20 each of blue, red, yellow, green, and orange. So there's blue, 1 to 20. It says numbered 1 through 20. So there's blue 1 to 20. There's red 1 to 20. There's yellow 1 to 20. There's green 1 to 20. And there's orange 1 to 20. It says one of the 100 cards will be selected at random. Okay, so they're just going to choose one of these cards. It says, what is the probability that the selected card will be blue or numbered 17? So all of these would count because they're blue, right? So we have 20 cards that would count here. And then we also have this one could be numbered 17, so the red 17, right? Just that one card would count. And then the yellow 17 would count. And then the green 17 would count. And then the orange 17 would count. Right? So I would have the 20 blue cards plus 1, 2, 3, 4. 24 total cards that could be picked out of a total of 100. And so I would select my answer as J. Right, so for me, super important that I write down all the possible options and then I go from there. for 57, it says the changes in a city's population from one decade to the next decade for 3 consecutive decades were a 20% increase, a 30% increase, and a 20% decrease. So it went 20% increase, 30% increase, and then a 20% decrease. It says about what percent was the increase in the city's population over the 3 decades. Right, so it doesn't tell me what the population is, but they want to know what percent did it increase like overall. Right, so for me, I just start with any random number. Let's say the population was 100. You could say the population was whatever. I choose to use 100 because it's a round and easy number. Right, so 100 in my calculator. Oops. 100, and I need to do a 20% increase. So I'm going to do 100 times 0.2. 100 times 0.2. I get 20, right? So it's going up by 20. So after this decade, it's going to be 120 people. Right? And then I know that in the next decade, it's going up by 30%. So I'm going to multiply this number times 0.3 or 0.30. And that gives me 36. So in this case, it's going up 36 people. So 120 plus 36 is going to give me 156 people. And then finally, I'm going from 156, there's a 20% decrease. So I'm going to do this times 0.20 to find out what 20% is. 156 times 0.2 is 31.2. 31.2. I know that human is probably, we're not gonna count that 20, but we're decreasing 31. So I'm gonna do 156 minus 31, and I get 125. 125 is how many people I'll have at the end. Right? But they're not asking how many people I'll have at the end. They're asking what percent was the increase. What's really awesome about using 100 is that it's very easy to tell what percent I went up by, because I had 100 and now I have 125. So how much did I go up? I went up by 25%. So my answer would be C, 25%. All right, finally for 58. It says 4 golfers will be randomly split into 2 groups of 2 for a tournament. So we have 4 people, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to split into 2 groups of 2. So if Jill and Ramona are among the 4, okay, we'll call them Jill and Ramona. What's the probability that they will be paired together, right? So if I have the 4 people, JR, and we'll call them 3 and 4 just for fun. I know that it could be 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. So 1 and 3, 2 and 4. Right? Or it could be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Right? Or the last pair that I could do is 1 and 4. 1 and 4 and 2 and 3. Right? Any other combination that I could make, like 2 and 3, I can already see that there's one option here for 2 and 3. Right? So they already have a 2 and 3 option. Or 2 and 4, they've already been together in this option. Or maybe 3 and 4, they've already been together in this option here. Right? So I can see that there are basically 1, 2, 3 options. Right? And we want to know how many of them are Jill and Ramona going to be together. So 1 and 2. So I can see that that's happening right here in this situation. So it'd be in one situation out of the 3 situations, are they going to be together? So your correct answer is K. If you think about it a different way, if you have like 4 people, right, 4 people like that, they could be paired like this. That would be one option. They could also be paired like this. That would be another option. And then another way they could be paired is like this way and that way. right? So there are like 3 basic options that they could be. And if this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're trying to look for where 1 and 2 can be together, then in this group they're not, in that group they're not, but in this group they are. So this is 1 out of the 1, 2, 3 possibilities. So you'd have a 1 in 3 chance.